Now, Danny, can you provide us with some examples, like how might we unknowingly be at risk in our day-to-day lives, and what are some simple ways we can safeguard ourselves? Of course, aside from the psychological aspects that you mentioned.
Sure. So one of the ways, I'm going to touch on two things, right?
Yeah.
One of the ways that I see constantly as one of the biggest problems that we have with regards to being at risk is not knowing what the bad guys actually want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so so I'm going to take you back I'll give you another analogy, another story. Imagine you are walking in a dark alleyway and it looks like a scene out of like some sort of like dangerous action movie. Okay. And you don't feel safe. And you've got these guys and they look mean and dangerous and whatnot, some sort of gang walking towards you. And imagine you've got a wad of cash in your pocket. Are you going to pull your cash out in front of this place that you feel scared and start counting it? Right? No, you're probably not. You're probably going to clench it really tight, keep your head down, and get out of there. Okay? Yeah. And why is that? Well, that's because by nature, I find humans are pretty secure by nature. We only, unfortunately though, live in a world where things have changed so much. What we need to protect and secure has changed, right? So what we need to protect and secure when it moves from just cash to another form of currency, that's when we get a little bit careless. Not necessarily our fault. It's just that we haven't learned that this is the new currency. Now let's talk about currency for a second. So, well, why do we know that currency is valuable? When we say currency, why do we know it's valuable? There's really four things that really make us understand that it's valuable. And the four things are, with currency, everyday currency is bought, it's sold, it's traded, and it's stolen, right? You can do that with any kind of money, any kind of currency. That's what's happening with our data. Every single day. People will argue every minute of the day. Some people will argue every second of the day. It's being bought, it's being sold, it's being traded, and it's being stolen. And so all of these things out there are worth so much. So the first thing that I tell people to do, really the first step is take a step back and have an understanding of what kind of sensitive information you have access to. Things like your passport number, things like your driver's license number, birth date, birthplace, citizen or immigration status. Take note of that and make sure that you talk to your family about that and understand, hey guys, this is the new currency and we got to protect this the same way that we protect any currency, except for the fact that you can argue it's even more vulnerable than currency. Picture yourself, you're at a Starbucks, you got a big bag of cash, someone wants to steal that from you, okay, right off your table. They have to make an effort to steal that from you. And you'll know immediately, hold it down, being compromised, right? You can shout for the cops, you can do something about it. But with data, it doesn't have to physically be taken from you. Somebody just needs to take a picture of it or record it or whatever. And what are we all walking around with? We're all walking around with recording devices.
Yeah.
Right? So incredibly valuable. And I think that's the thing that people do wrong. And I think we need to be better is understanding in this new world, what is the real currency that these guys want. That's one thing. And then another thing, simple thing that I'm a big fan of talking about, especially now more than ever, is get an understanding of your smart devices. You got so many people all working together, kids, parents, spouses, everyone's now using the same network. And not only do we have so many of us at home doing all this stuff because of COVID-19, but we've got all these appliances that are smart and everything's connected. And we got to remember, the bad guy will choose the easiest route in. And once they're in one thing that you think, oh, who's gonna hack my fridge? Nobody cares about that. Yeah. Sure. Once they're in one aspect, from there they can hop and they can get to other aspects. So those would be the two things. Take note of the new currency, understand we live in a new world, and take note of your smart device.